Hey guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, remember to hit that bell for notifications for when we drop new videos.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Mike was muted. Oops.
Yes. What's happening?
Welcome everybody. We're new at this.
Yes, we are. We're gone for 1 week.
Been a minute. It's actually we've been gone for 2 shows.
Really?
Right? Hasn't it?
No,
No.
I think it was just one show.
Maybe you're right.
Just one.
Maybe I'm getting the Thursday thing mixed up.
Yeah, because it was Malvern. That was it last week.
Yeah,
30th.
that's right.
Yeah.
Weeks gone by
Feels
like
weeks.
it literally does feel like I've been away for 2 weeks here.
Well, to make matters worse, I literally have, starting tomorrow, 1 week left of vacation.
Oh.
1 week. So it's winding down fast.
Dude, you're gonna hate going back to
Very
work.
fast. Oh, I know. I know. I like. Don't get me wrong. I'm ready to get back to work. Yeah,
That's a lie. That's
right.
a lie.
I mean, who doesn't want to ghost hunt the entire time, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, with what we do, like, who doesn't want to do that all the time? But yeah, gotta get back to work. Gotta get back to the real world. So I got 1 more week left, like a normal vacation, right? Just 1 week. So
Yeah.
What's
Normal.
up, Cassie? Good to see you. Glad to have you.
Normal.
Josh, what's up, man? Good to see you. And I was gonna say, I've got
And
just some of the Facebook posts. We can go over some of the pictures from
Yeah.
Malvern and other places as well. So no big deal. What's up, Angel?
Kathy says she can't hear you very well, but she can hear me just.
Me very well. Well, let me turn myself up. But Dave, you can hear me okay, right?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. Fine. Me.
All right, Cassie. I'm gonna turn the volume up a little bit. You tell me if makes it any better. Okay, what about now, Cassie? Is that any better?
It's pretty good.
I mean, it increased, right? Like, it sounds
Yeah.
a little bit more bold. Trying out a new system. This is a new mic setup for you guys. This is completely different than what I was rolling with before. And, I mean, different area. It's like the original area, kind of, but...
A little different.
Different still, yes. Absolutely. You know what it probably was is the microphone's a little bit farther away from me. And so I just had to turn up the sensitivity a little bit.
Because it's sensitive.
It's so sensitive, but it's totally fine as long as everybody can hear me. We're good.
Yeah.
But hey, glad to be here. Glad to able to investigate for 3 weeks now, 2 weeks now.
Right?
It's been great. Oh God, it's been great. It's been so much fun. Like, granted, yes, nothing is guaranteed for investigations, but that doesn't mean there's not excitement there when going to locations, talking about locations, being at the locations with new people and guests. It's been great.
This has been kind of a first for you, hasn't it? Like where
very, very much so. Like the closest. I mean, I've helped out with events before, but I've never like back to back kind of thing. Like one a week and stuff like that, and helping put it together. I don't really put it together, but I'm there helping out with everything. I'm not in charge. Okay, I sit back, watch everything. I help people.
Charles not in charge?
Nope, never, never in charge, never.
Oh my God!
Despite what people may say,
this is an abomination.
What, your computer?
No.
What?
You're not in charge. It's an abomination.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make you my manager or some shit.
I mean, I could probably do that, but it's fine. I just
need
connections.
So this is the thing. Like, we've been out for 3 investigations, right?
Yeah. So far,
out traveling, seeing everybody, which has been
Mhm.
awesome. I freaking loved it.
Oh, me too, man.
We had some weird experiences, which we'll talk about here
Yes.
before long here. But like just getting out there, seeing everybody, talking to everybody, traveling, just that whole thing. It's been really nice. Like I
It has.
loved it.
And it's kind of like, for me, it didn't really hit me yet. Like, usually when I go investigating, right, nobody really knows who I am, which is fine, no big deal. Except for like if I'm helping out an event and the team knows me, obviously.
Yeah.
But as far as guests go at the locations, but the one at one at Thomas Building, there was a few people there that listened to the podcast and were friends with Cassie, and I was introducing myself, and they're like, "Oh, we know." I'm like, what?
You're like, how did you
what,
know?
What do I say? What do I say?
No, you know what makes it weird is when you don't know them and they know you. That's
Yeah,
what makes
it's
it weird.
so weird. It is such a weird feeling. Like I want to know people. Obviously, like if you watch my show, I appreciate it. Like it means a lot. So I mean, the fact that they were there just makes me happy. They want to investigate and they're curious like us, and which I am totally blanking here. And Cassie, I'm so sorry, but the ladies on your paranormal team were really nice and great, and it was a great time meeting them and hanging out with you and investigating. It's been way too long.
Yes. And you know what? It was also really great was, we had a couple investigators who did multiple investigations.
Yeah, like all three.
Yeah.
Well, no, not. I guess
No, not all three.
That's right. It was
two different ones.
Yeah,
Two different investigations.
Hey, that's great.
And it was great because they stacked them. Like,
yes,
they bought tickets to one and then did the event, and then they're like, okay, I'm going to another one.
Yeah,
that to me said a lot. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I got to thinking about that today. I was like, you know what? Maybe I am onto something with this.
I'm telling you, as far as the events that I've helped out with, it's all mainly, hey, go into groups, go grab a recorder, grab a device, go do blah blah. The investigator thing. That's just normal. But with the stuff that you're putting on, the experiments that you've come up with for these investigations, it can go. It can stir up some activity. It can make you. Not hallucinate. I mean, I guess it can make you hallucinate if.
Well, just as far as like the events go, like I try to make this different from other events that we've gone to. Events a lot of people have gone to.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know if it's just me, but like I get bored really easy with the same old.
Same.
And like most of the events I've gone to, and a lot of everybody else will probably agree too, like it's you go to these events, you meet the host or celebrity or whatever, and they say, all right, go investigate.
Yep.
We're going to go do an EVP session. It's just EVP sessions, and I think there needs to be a little bit more activity to it. Like there's got to be more flavor.
Yes, more control, more flavor, because otherwise when you get all that and people that want to do some recording as far as either video or audio, video is great for capturing what's happening in the moment. Audio, it's really hard to do recording with audio because there's so many people, especially at smaller locations. And well, not just smaller locations, just old locations in general. You step on the wood, you hear a creak, you hear a crack. You don't know if it's people like, what was it, at the Arkansas sanatorium? Obviously, if people are away on different floors, a whole different story. But if it's like a 2 or 3 leveled place, it can be a little challenging as far as trying to keep groups quiet to be able to investigate with each other. So
and that was something I liked about the Thomas Building, was we were able to separate people. And we'll get into the investigation and stuff with Thomas Building here in a little bit, but the way this is playing out though, like it also is making me feel better about doing it in the future. Because
dude.
So before we get into the investigations, this is something I had reservations on, and something I thought about was like, well, I mean, I don't know how this is going to go, but if this does well, maybe I was going to do some, next year, do some more of this. And I'll be honest. The Malvern Manor event, for some reason, we did not sell hardly any tickets.
I think 2 reasons.
Yeah, there's a couple of reasons.
One main reason, honestly, it was the 30th. I think it was a Monday. So,
just another manic Monday.
So it's just kind of hard to do all that, and to be fair as well, I think just a lot of people it was the night before Halloween. People were out of town. Some people were out of town.
Yeah.
People with their families and their kiddos and all that kind of stuff. So it is interesting. Does it suck? Yeah, sometimes, but I'm glad that we had, someone there, and Josh stopped by and had fun with us. It was a great time. Plus, there was the ghost box stuff with you and Josh was just fantastic.
It was
hilarious.
Funny.
Oh yeah.
Angel, we'll get into the Thomas Building stuff here in a few minutes.
Yeah. Real quick.
Chronological.
Sorry, Cassie said Prison Town Paranormal, and we all agree that you two are welcome back anytime. Thank you so much, Cassie. It means a lot, of course. That's you guys are great.
I want to go back to Leavenworth.
I do too. I had no idea Leavenworth was building up so much.
This is a nice town.
These last 3, 4, or 5 years, honestly. Well, it can be nice.
I mean, it looked nice in parts. And we also went to the cemetery out there, so that was awesome.
I do have a question for Cassie, though. So, real quick, when you're leaving on Highway 5 out of Lansing / Leavenworth, we stopped by. Well, we drove by the military cemetery and then the St. Munice cemetery. Well, past all that, Muncie? Is that what it was? That what it was?
Muncie.
Okay, past all that, there was this, 3, 4, 5 building complex of red brick buildings with a bunch of fencing and wiring around it. Do you know what that was or what it is? Because it doesn't look like it's being used today. It looked pretty empty. I saw one white truck there, but it could have been a trash truck, not a trash truck, but just
maintenance guy or something.
Yeah, something like that. But it was down Highway 5 is how we left, and I was gonna ask you about it, but I couldn't remember how to really. And if that's not the best description, I'm sorry, but it's all I get. But it was on the left-hand side of the highway as you leave down the road going back to Kansas City. So, Kansas State Correctional Facility, the old one. Interesting. I was wondering because the buildings looked really old
and really fun.
Really fun. Yes, it looked really interesting.
Definitely something to look into. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, well, if they
might have to get a hold of the state.
I mean, I don't know.
Would have to get a hold of the state, see if they'd let somebody in there, but I bet it could be arranged.
True. I mean, there's a lot of historical buildings in Leavenworth that are worth a try.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, getting back to Malvern, Malvern, so we had one person there with us at Malvern, right? And we just had fun really at Malvern, and I think Jerry who was his name.
Comments.
There we go.
Yeah, yes. Jerry was Jerry Lewis, right?
Yeah, Jerry Lewis joined us, guys.
I just want to make sure I didn't get
the Jerry Lewis.
The Jerry Lewis. It's hard to believe.
Not the one from a long time ago, but a modern Jerry Lewis.
Modern day Jerry Lewis. The I don't know what. Yeah, something like that.
The non-ancestral Jerry Lewis. He married his cousin, man, or his niece, or something like that.
Which I mean, Jerry was very participating, very open to everything we were doing. I don't think he had a problem really with anywhere. I'm pretty sure if we wanted him to be by himself somewhere,
he would have done it.
He would have done it. Absolutely freaking lootly. I mean, technically, I guess he was when we were doing the one experiment with the ghost box.
Yeah. So, and what's cool is he got to experience some of the things that we experienced.
Yes, he did.
At the beginning of the night, we did a session down in the Shadow Man hallway. And, there's some things. I thought I heard a voice, a woman's voice, responding to what I had asked. It just said no. Mm-hmm. And then when we were leaving, you and I think it was you and not you and Josh. you and Mitch were talking, and Jerry said something like, "All right, we'll see you later." And right between Jerry and I, we heard a voice, and what I heard was, "Yeah, you too."
Mm-hmm.
And I looked over at him, and he looked at me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "That just happened."
Yeah, and that was in the nurse's station too.
Yeah, right by the nurse's station.
Yeah, literally, like as we were leaving that hallway.
And what was great was like I captured like the first word, the yeah on recorder.
I remember that.
I need to use these headphones and listen to it because I wanted to see if like the U2 part actually is like faded in there somewhere.
I hope so. I mean, it might be. Shoot, it'd be good to go over for sure.
Yeah.
Man, that night drained me so much. Like after that last experiment, when I think it was time to pretty much shut down. You wanted to go live, which you did, and I was like, dude, I am literally about to fall asleep. Like I got to go to sleep, or else I would have stayed up and done a little bit more. But yeah, man, I was so tired from that last experiment. But I'm trying to think,
and we could talk about the experiments. We've already done those ones.
Yeah. So I guess the first experiment technically was the one with Josh, right?
Yeah, with the ghost box.
Yeah, so we gave Josh a microcom, one of Katie Stafford's ITC devices, and we played hide and seek. So the thing about Josh with Malvern, for some that don't know, Malvern spirits love. I'm gonna just say love Josh. I think they love to mess with him. I think they love to give him heck. Like they're just very cooperative with Josh. I mean, he spends so much time there; it just makes sense. And
he's got a connection for sure.
He's got a connection, and I really think, like, running theory here, but I really think that people that have the biggest connections with the locations are the owners, that they spend time to actually get to know the spirits and try to contact them over and over again. It was, I think, Renee at Thomas. Was it Renee?
Yeah.
It kind of clicked with Renee, where she was just like, well, they kind of learned to. Like we learned to like live with each other or be around each other. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense why Josh gets so much activity at Malvern, Justin gets so much activity at Garnett.
Yeah.
Like it just makes a lot of sense. But anyways, so
yeah, we're playing hide and seek where whoever is seeking has a microcom, and the goal of this is to get the spirits to interact and play a game and help find everybody. The spirits had to direct the seeker to find the hiders, basically.
So we had you, myself, Mitch, and Jerry. So 4 people hiding while Josh had to go find us.
All throughout Malvern.
Malvern. And I believe it did it to me. It did it twice. It told Josh exactly where I was twice. Like I heard both times, and that first time I almost like threw open the door and was like, "Oh my god, did you say what I did?" Like I was.
You didn't say like turn left or something like that.
No, well, okay. So the first time he went through the nurse's station or through the door to get to the nurse's station, and then the box went right, like just immediately as he crossed. So you go through that door on the right hand side. There's like a little closet, like bathroom thing.
Yeah.
Like in the nurse's, kind of around the nurse's station, back towards the exit door.
Yeah.
And that was when I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta open the door, but I was like, I don't want to give away my position. So I stayed inside the room. I tried to be very quiet, and he went past me. I think he thought it was meaning the nurse's station, like right
around the corner. Yeah.
So the next time he's kind of looking around there, and I don't know if he found anybody down there. I don't know if I was the only one down there or not, but he went past. I heard him walk past. And then on his way back around, I think it went left, right. It just said left, right for some reason. And so right when he was next to that door, it said left. And I was right there, and he opened the door and he found me. And I was just like, that is just crazy. I've never had a ghost tell on me. Yeah. So that was really neat.
I was a little nervous about my hiding spot because I hid up in the attic.
Oh.
And where I hid was like, if you're coming up the stairs, I'm behind the stairs up against the wall. So I figured he would come up and just kind of look over and just, do a 180 there and not look back behind him. And so I'm sitting here listening to the ghost box. Like it repeatedly tells them the attic. And I'm just like, damn. I started hearing noises right next to me, like somebody's feet in the dust and debris and stuff. And like, I don't know, it was weird. I just kept hearing noises right next to me, and
yeah,
I was like, shoot, because of some things that we were told happening up in the attic. I'm like, shoot. All right, Josh, let's get these spirits to find me.
Yeah, because it wasn't like, speaking of that, like another time you guys were doing a session in the attic, and your recorder was touched 3 times
and moved. Yeah,
like that's crazy.
I think next show or something we might I'll try to get some of the clips on here and we can just play. Absolutely. Because it was pretty fascinating. Like I heard we were doing the session up there, the 3 of us, and I was sitting right next to the banister where I put the recorder, and you could hear the taps on the recorder.
Yeah. Like literally it sounded a lot like what Josh had described from a different recording where something like it sounded like click clack, or whatever the sound like claw marks
like a dog walking on wood.
Yeah, like a dog walking on wood. But then the way it grabbed it sounded like not just like someone with human hands. It sounded like
claws,
like tappings. Like it sounded like it tapped when it was touching it. So that was kind of weird. Like I've never heard that before in the attic. But good times.
So we did 2 rounds of the hide and seek. The first round, Josh was the seeker. The second round was me looking for everybody, and
it took you forever.
It's not my fault.
I know it's not your fault. The spirits didn't like you.
The spirits really didn't like me.
They really didn't like you.
I kid you not, and I'm gonna have to pull the video off my phone.
Like you were going for like a solid 10-15 minutes. I'm pretty sure.
It was about 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay,
literally. So that's how long it took. Wow. I was in the nursing home wing.
Yeah.
And I'm asking it, where is Josh? Tell me where Josh is.
Yeah.
And it comes across the microcom, room 118. I'm like, shit, he's on the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
So I hoofed it. I went up to the 2nd floor, going 118. Nobody's in there.
What?
Ain't nobody in there. I turned around and I found Mitch because he was sitting on the floor in the middle of 117 across the hall.
Hiding. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah. So I go back down there and I'm like, okay, you guys lied to me. Where's Josh?
Right.
And then on the radio, again, it's got to be on the video. It says in his office. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to the office. Get to his office. It's padlocked shut.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not in there unless there's a back way in there, but there's not. So, like, sons of bitches.
Yeah. It was.
And then, I went upstairs, walked around, and came down. And as I was going by the room you were in, it said right.
Completely messing with you.
And you were
I was
to the right.
No,
you're to my right.
Oh yeah, because you were coming back down the hallway, not going back. Okay, well,
so
that makes sense.
Well, I recorded this one with my cell phone. I just had my phone out recording, so I'll have the hide and seek video out soon. The TikTok live was later after the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the TikTok live at Thomas Building, that's archived. I'll have to download it.
What did you? Oh yeah, we did the whole session there towards the end. That's what we you did TikTok live on. That's right.
Yeah, at Thomas Building. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we did the doorway experiment there at Malvern.
Well, hold on, real quick. We did the Estes method there for a minute too. Like this isn't one of your experiences.
Oh, with Mitch. Yeah, with Mitch.
And I thought it was interesting. A few answers that we got. Myself and Jerry were standing at the top of the stairs. Mitch was down in the parlor. I'm just gonna call it parlor. The entry area with the wooden floor where the captain's picture's on the wall.
Yeah.
So Mitch was in there, and there's no way he could possibly hear us. We made it so to where we actually had Dave in between us, telling us,
relaying the message.
Yeah. So I couldn't really understand what Mitch was saying because he had like a coat over his head. He was which was blindfolded, right? But anyway, so we asked how many fingers, or I asked how many fingers am I holding up, and it said 2 of them. And another time, Jerry didn't even ask the question, but he was kind of standing in the in between the hallway of the curved hallway and then the staircase like room where it comes up to
the landing.
And he had his hand out in the staircase in the curved hallway doing this, and it said 5. And Jerry immediately just like went like this. He's like, I was holding up 5 freaking fingers, and he didn't even ask a question. It just said 5. So I thought that was very interesting. Yeah. And then I asked, well, what is your name? And I think it was either Mike came through, and then it was Henry. Wasn't it? No.
Henry came through. Yes.
Yes. Henry came through, but there was another name too named Mike. I don't know if Mike's anything tied to the location. That could have been a radio station for all we know. Yeah. But the fact that Henry came through and I was like diagonal from his room, I was just like, well, that's interesting. So it was a really fun activity. I think there was a couple more questions that I had answers from. Yes, that's right, Mitch. It was Henry and then Mike. So that's what was said. But I thought it was cool that it freaking said Henry. That was awesome. Yeah. And so after that, Dave's my favorite experiment that Dave does. We each had to sit in the doorway of a room with our backs to the hallway. We were all
literally in the doorway.
Yeah, we're literally in the doorway with our backs. Like our backs are kind of in the hallway,
exposed.
So I was in Susie's room, I believe. You were in Inez's room, and then Jerry, I think, was in the room in the
right at the curve.
Yeah, the curve. Right at the curve. There's that one room, and then Mitch was in like another room down or 2 rooms down.
There's a door that has like it seems like a blood splatter that's on it.
Yeah.
And Mitch was in that.
He was in that room. I think he said he was hearing footsteps from in that room.
In the hallway.
Yes, it was in the hallway. It was because it was to his left, kind of like over by the stairs. I was hearing footsteps in my room, like to the left where the closet is. Like in between that spot between the closet and then I think that dresser that's right there or something that's right there. It sounded like there was something literally walking around in the room with me. And at the same time, the geophone on my EDI meter was going off with the footsteps. So that was awesome. And then the cat ball was going off in the hallway behind me to the left. Yeah. So that was really cool. But I didn't feel any footsteps in the hallway, I will say. No. But we heard something.
Yes, we did.
At the same time.
Yes, we did.
Okay. I can't remember exactly what it said. What did it say?
It said, get back.
Get back. See, I was going to say like move it or some stupid thing, but no. It was get back. Mind you, we're sitting in the doorway of these rooms. So was it telling us to
I think it was telling us to get out of the way.
I think so too. I think it was telling us to get out of the way so we could go into the rooms. So like the fact that we heard that, like both of us had heard that, that was awesome. Loved that. So footsteps, audible footsteps from more than one person. Geophone going off with the footsteps that I heard, cat ball going off when I'm not moving whatsoever.
Yeah.
Hearing the voice. That was like, that hallway is so interesting. I know when you were in Susie's room that one time doing a session, you heard footsteps out in the hallway.
In the hallway, yeah. I thought you were coming up, so.
Yeah. No, Kelly, it's all good. We're glad to have you here. Thanks for coming. That was such an interesting experiment. I will say we had one device that didn't go off the entire night until the very end when you were doing your last live stream.
Yeah.
And it's we're calling it the pod. It's not, I don't want to call it a RIM pod because it's not an actual like round RIM pod with the same kind of lights and stuff. It's made by somebody else.
It's made by Katie. But like it's kind of like a REM pod, but in a nutshell, it's basically a REM pod.
Basically. But the coolest the coolest thing to me is it has music notes, music tones that you can switch up the tone. You can do the normal REM pod sound or music notes, and it actually I think does 2 octaves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
3. Oh, okay.
Kind of sound. Yeah, like it goes up like 2 notes extra or something like that. I can't remember. But but the last time we were at Malvern and we had that device was going off like crazy everywhere.
Yeah.
But this time only once. So I was very impressed with that.
Yeah, it was, that device was actually pretty quiet. All of these.
Yes. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
I don't think there was besides that one, which I was not there for, but besides that, it was pretty quiet the entire time. And usually it goes off like the one time that we used it at Malvern for a few days.
Right.
It was going off pretty steadily. But then there was a couple times that it didn't go off either.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Which we were like, well, this is interesting. But
I find it more interesting when it doesn't go off.
Oh, same.
But Jerry had a good time. That was the point for that.
Too bad if this was YouTube, or if this wasn't YouTube, you could make a game out of every time we say we take a shot. Like say an together or something. You take a shot. Like you say an accent like and
yeah, no doubt.
That'd be funny. That would be really fun. That'd be an interesting game night. We're taking shots of brown water. Yeah, that's totally what I'm drinking.
Tea.
Yeah, it's totally tea. Just tea.
You should just make it totally tea.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally tea. I like it. That's a good name for a tea. Actually,
yeah,
totally tea. Man,
totally.
It's marketing. You heard it here, people.
Trademarked. It's trademarked already.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
It might be. Just watch that.
I'm trying to think. Was there anything else that we had interesting?
No, I think we have pretty well covered the Malvern thing.
Yeah, we didn't go to the basement because that would have been way too packed. That would have been pointless.
Now we had enough activity at Malvern that Jerry signed up for, or ended up coming out to the Thomas building. I didn't know he was going to come out until the day of. I saw that he had bought a ticket. I'm like, all right, cool. But
I'm glad that we mentioned to him. I was like, hey, we're doing more days, So that was neat seeing Jerry again, and I really hope he had a good time at this one too. It seemed like he did. So that was wonderful.
Now we did have more people with us for the Ray County event. We sold 5 tickets for that. 3 of them showed up, which was kind of cool because it made it a little more personal for them.
It did,
but unfortunately, it was dead ass quiet.
It was so. I can't I think in the last hour of investigating, I think I went to 3 different locations to try to get some sort of activity, and nothing happened.
The only things that really stood out about this investigation, besides the ladies had a great time doing the sensory overload there, but early, you and I went out to the cemetery when we first got there.
Yeah, it was cool. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that was something that was interesting. So, yeah, we went out to the cemetery, which is it's kind of a stretch away from the building. It was farther than I thought it was going to be. So if you go out there, if she lets you, Kathy, if she lets you go out there, I would definitely recommend jeans. And I will say the road gets muddy fast, so I wouldn't plan on driving your vehicle all the way through there. But if you want to stop it before it becomes to more dirt than gravel, recommend it. But so anyways, we were asking questions because this graveyard doesn't have multiple stones. It has typically just 2 stones because there was a fire that happened and all the markers were
the wooden ones.
And so the fire actually caught the wood on fire, and they were all destroyed. So then I think, what did you say? Was it a Boy Scout crew?
It was a Boy Scout who did a project, and he found some names of the people that were buried out there. They've got a stone out there now that's a memorial marker for those people.
Yeah, exactly. It was a memorial marker. So we actually took a picture of it just to see if we can get any names later in the night. But when we were out there, we actually decided, hey, let's do a little ghost box session. And what was weird was, so we're standing there asking questions, and all of a sudden to my right, I hear a couple, like, well, I think it was, it wasn't a couple, it was actually just a heavy footstep. It was just like a, but here's the thing. This grass was a little bit thicker. There were leaves everywhere, so you could tell if someone's like took a step for sure.
Yeah.
So I heard what I thought was a footstep behind me, and I told Dave. And then as we were like later on from when we were asking,
not even a minute later,
yeah, like there was like 3 or 4 footsteps, like just in the grass behind Dave on the opposite of me, and we both reacted to it like, what the heck was that?
Yeah.
So
my first thought was, hey, okay, there's a squirrel hopping around.
But we looked back there and there was nothing there.
Nothing.
It was just like, and there was wind, but there wasn't like you're not gonna have leaves like moving around sounding like footsteps, like actual like thumps on the ground sounding like footsteps. So yeah, that was really interesting for sure. But honestly, I think that was the only really interesting throughout the entire night. For me, anyways.
We did have a first from what we were told
on the way back.
No. From what we were told, the people that came with us to this event or joined us on this event, we were the first group of people to go out to the cemetery at night and do a session.
That's true. Yeah, which I'll
take it.
Feels pretty good. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Actually,
it's kind of a shame nobody else has gone out there. You know,
I know. I was thinking the same thing. Well, I wonder how many people actually know about the cemetery out there too.
Yeah, I would think they'd tell them about it during a tour or something, but
yeah,
who knows? Yeah. But it's kind of a cool thing. You know, we got to be the first group to do that first. So that was cool. Nothing really happened except towards the end of the night, or right at the end of the night. Myself and 2 of the ladies went to this room that was the Iraqi war themed room. Had a bunch of stuff from the Iran and Iraq, and a bunch of stuff like of Saddam Hussein, and like it was all military stuff. It was bizarre, and that room's always got a heavy feeling.
Oh, it's so heavy. Like there's so many people that just when they go into that room, they just get a really heavy feeling. So there's definitely something there that does it just. I'm not saying doesn't feel good as in doesn't feel like good or evil or anything like that. It's more of just like a weight, you said, a heaviness, and it's not a good feeling. So yeah, there's something definitely off about that room for sure.
And as we started, like she put one of the guests, Jessica, she put cat balls up on the cases and stuff, and one of them kept going off for a while there while we were running the microcom. So I shut the microcom off and it didn't come back on at all. So we turned it back on. I turned it back on thinking, okay, maybe that's what's causing it. And me asking questions, my voice maybe rattling the cases, I guess. I don't know. It never came back on again. Yeah. And the microcom did say my name really loud and clear.
Yeah.
And it was on a question like, "Can you say my name?" And it says it, and that was cool. And that was it basically. Really wasn't any experiences had there, but I know, you're not going to win them all.
Well, I do know the girls were hearing like a couple when we left them to go do when they were doing their own thing. I want to say it was down the mannequin hallway because there's a ton of mannequins down that hallway.
Yes.
I'm not sure which room it was in, but they were hearing some thuds.
Oh, that's right.
Thumps in one of the rooms.
I keep forgetting about this one. When we went down that hallway initially, all of us were down there. There was one room, like I was standing in front of it and I looked in the doorway and it was completely blacked out. Like
I was getting some feelings about rooms like that too.
Like looking at it, it looked completely blacked out. So I started backing away, and then I hear this whisper and I caught that whisper on the recording.
Nice.
Again, I'm going to try to get all this stuff together for you guys so you can hear and see the stuff that we captured throughout these events. But I forgot. I completely forgot about that. But we did leave them down there by themselves because that section or that half of the hall half of the building was supposed to be for women only.
Yes.
So we're like, well, maybe guys being over there, maybe it's intimidating to them or something.
Yeah.
So we meandered back to our side.
Yeah, and like I said before, for me though, I personally didn't have a lot of things happen when I was around. I was telling somebody actually at the Thomas building, I was like, it's starting to feel like I'm like a dead switch or something. Like when I'm around, it just feels like things just don't happen, or if they do, it's very like few and far between. So yeah, I just I don't know if I should just like not separate myself, but like, hey, let's see if this works if I leave, kind of thing, and see if you can get some activity going. But
it just made me think of the saying, like, what is your superpower? Killing every boner when you walk in the room?
I mean, spiritual ones, I guess, or ghosts, but that's about it.
You give me a spiritual boner.
Hey, just be a shirt with that on it. Just,
dude, you know what? I might.
Just make it a Boogeyman Radio T-shirt. Just do it.
I got a boner.
I made sure that I told the Ashley. I just told Ashley, she's the one that's in charge of a lot of the internet stuff for where I work, and I told her, I was like, hey, make sure when you put this on the newsletter, make sure that it says that this is an adult show. It's not for children. I don't want any kids at the country club I work at coming up to be like, why'd you say this? Or their parents coming up to me and be like, I thought this was gonna be safe for my kids. And I was like, well, you thought wrong, I guess.
I'm a bartender.
Yeah, right. Like, come on. It's like Deadpool. Why would you take your kid to go see Deadpool? That's just stupid. So dumb. Anyways, sometimes it feels like that, Angel. I will say it really does. I feel like, but that's the thing, is I can feel the energy in the room. I can feel stuff around, but I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it feels like mostly when I go and investigate, it's mostly dead. When I go to investigate places, I don't know. It's just me, maybe, or it's just the luck of the draw of investigating, because nothing's guaranteed. So.
Now, you and I had a really weird experience driving home that night, though.
Absolutely.
Really weird. And you guys, if anybody's had this experience, let us know.
Please.
We left at, about 4? Or no, 3.
No.
3.
It was like 2:40. It was like
2:40. Okay.
2:57 and was literally the time on the clock when I went like... we were talking about it, and I looked at the clock, and it was 2:57. So, route 2:56, 2:57 is when it happened. Okay.
So we were on the highway, middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Literally,
like back roads, Missouri. 210 coming back to Kansas City. Nothing around us.
No cars, no nothing.
Nothing.
And I'm just driving. I didn't have the air conditioner on. I just had the fan on. So it was just blowing the cool air into the car. And all of a sudden, I start getting this smell. And I kind of do that, what the hell? And as soon as I did that, I could see Charles reacting. And I was like, what the hell? Does that smell like booze?
And the first thing I thought, honestly, the first thing that came to mind for me was I actually have a relative who consumes a lot of alcohol. So I know what that smell smells like, and it literally smelled like I was talking to him, or he was talking to me, and it was like just hitting me in the face.
It was like that perfect combination.
Gosh,
it's like that perfect combination of cigar or booze and cigarettes. Yeah. And if you know anybody that like goes to the bar all the time and like they just have that smell about them, like that's what it was. Because I have 4 older brothers, and they all drink and smoke, and they all smell like that. So we're like, damn, did we just like cross paths with like a drunk driver accident? Like
it was, well, and that's so funny that Angel mentions that, because I even looked at the back seat just to like, is something back here with us? Like, did it hitch a ride with us? Because man, it was so strange,
dude. If you had seen something.
Well, I mean, I was like, but after we had mentioned it, I was kind of getting feelings like, is there something around us now? Like it's like my energy just like, I woke up and it was just like poof, trying to reach out and see if I could feel anything. But That was the first time I had ever had a phantom smell like that while driving down the highway.
Yeah.
Never have I, like, yeah, you come into a town and you like, oh, it smells like a pig farm. Oh, it smells like a factory. Or like, there's just towns that have smells. We were in the middle of nowhere.
And it was booze.
And it was freaking booze. Like, was that a drunk driving accident? Was that a hitchhiker? Was that just somebody walking home from the bar and like gets, you know, I mean, like, it just.
We even thought like maybe something might have happened to somebody we know, and we were just kind of getting an alert. Yeah. You know,
I was fully expecting, like, well, I wasn't fully expecting, but I even made mention to you, like, if my mom or if someone calls me tomorrow and like, hey, so and so, something happened, like, I'd be like, oh, that's crazy. I had a weird experience with something like that last night. But yeah, it was such a weird incident coming back home from an investigation. And 100%. I mean, who knows? Maybe we should ask Kathy sometime and see if they've ever had those smells at the pour home, because pour home and alcohol could be a thing.
Yeah, I just don't know, like, if they would leave the poorhouse with us.
Dave, what if it was that Horner guy, that 20-something-year-old dude that had 3 death certificates? Because it said that he hopped trains. He was a hitchhiker. And there was a train track not too far from where we were.
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it's fun speculation.
The train, yeah, it's all speculation. But I'm just saying, like, maybe we should ask Kathy and see if they've ever had any like weird, like fake smells like that. Yeah.
We can check.
Maybe something like partially followed us back.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be interesting.
Now, that being said, the next one, which was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
The Thomas building, that was next. And, I'm going to throw this out there because it was so crappy. Don't go to Luigi's. If you're in Leavenworth, don't go to Luigi's.
Oh, yeah. Don't eat there.
Absolutely.
For one, like, I will give it to this. I will definitely give it to this too, but they were severely understaffed. Severely. Yeah. And they kept letting people in, and I'm just like, y'all are shooting yourself in the foot here.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to go into detail, but like, just don't go there.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Go to Puffy's. Right, Cassie?
Yeah. I will say, if you go there though, apparently get the pizza. Pizza's really good. I enjoyed the spaghetti. Spaghetti was really tasty. So, yeah.
It's whatever, Taz. It's whatever.
Exactly. I know there were some things I liked, some things I didn't. But the investigation, though. The investigation was the old Thomas building, and it was above Karma Cakes, right? Is that what
Karma?
I think that was it. Karma Cakes.
Karma Cakes.
Which Renee, she was super nice. What?
Cassie said there's no food at Fluffy's. I wasn't talking about food.
Drinks. Which we would have. I mean, shoot, I was sitting there and I was having a cocktail at Luigi's, and I was already feeling it because I hadn't eaten like all day.
What's up, Morty? How we doing?
So that was interesting. But as far as the old Thomas building goes, it actually, like, I will say, it exceeded my expectations. Not necessarily on a paranormal scale, but the building itself. I was not what?
I was gonna say I like that building.
No, it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying I like that building.
Oh, I did too. I liked it a lot.
It was odd.
It was odd. Like, that's the whole point. Like, to me. But yes, it's Jerry. Okay, perfect. So this is Jerry, right?
Under Morty S. Tashman?
Yes. Says yes,
right.
It's Jerry.
Okay.
Speaking of booze. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, Cassie. That was fun, too. That was Renee's son came into town, and they were doing some celebratory things. And, man, they were tasty. But, so anyways, yes, this building exceeded my expectations as far as the building itself. It was bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, honestly, like 3 or 4 rooms. It was, and then learning that people actually died there, or someone actually died there, that I was not expecting. it was interesting. And then learning about some of the occupants there, because they said that it was all older people that had lived there. There was really no young people that had lived there.
Ah. All right. Now it's making sense.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So I'm trying to think how to really.
Well,
yeah.
Just after we did the whole introduction and everything with myself and KD and Cassie giving us the history and everything, like it was really cool to actually see. Like there were some items left behind from one of the former residents of the building. Yes, Mr. Harvey over here. And the fun fact was that he was into the occult.
Yeah.
And that was a loop. That threw me for a loop.
It did throw me for a loop too. Like you had one was the Fate magazine, which is very into like the supernatural side of things. And mind you guys, this is like 1950s, 1960s.
Yeah, I think he died in 81.
Yeah, he died in 81, but surprised old people only, but I was surprised that only old people had lived there. Like that's like learning that like all the residents were all older people. But and other things that were left by Jerry were photos, like negatives, photo negatives. By say Jerry, jeez, by Harvey. It was the photo negative.
You got too good, you fucker.
I guess, sure. So it was really, which they did develop some, so that was really cool. Seeing which there is a couple photos of like that they think one of the guys in the photo is Harvey, but this guy clearly liked to take photos. And they found, actually during that night too, they found another sleeve of photos that were not developed, and it was photos. Yeah, it was photos from the Centennial Parade in 1954.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because one of the floats you could see on like a float, a parade float that was going
like
through.
The date.
Yeah, it said, what was it, Miss Centennial or Centennial something? But it was like, Centennial Queen. That's what it was. It was the Centennial Queen. And so I looked at, I was just like, well, what's the Centennial? And it said 1954. And then I found some other artifacts that were being sold on eBay that was from the parades of the Centennial and from the Centennial Parade in 1954. So that was really cool finding those photos. The clothing drive. Well, Dave, you want to explain that one? You want to talk about that one?
I forgot the clothes.
What?
We got to Ray County. I just took my hat off. I'm like, damn it. Like, he's like, what? And I'm like, I forgot the bags of clothes.
No. But we have a backup plan. We're
going to get them there.
A backup plan. I'm going to be going down there here pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'll probably take Dave's clothes with me and bring them back, and I can give them to Renee whenever. But, aside from the clothing drive, and then Cassie said to get those developed. That's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see those the next time.
Hell yeah!
I can't wait to go back. It's gonna be really cool. I thought it was also interesting that Renee, on our little tour of things that she experienced, but she didn't give us like a full tour, just like explaining some things. She didn't give us the history, was what I meant to say. On Renee's tour, she had taken us, or she had told us early on, like, hey, just so you know, there's like a room where we have like an 85 to 90% of people get a weird feeling in this room, and I want to see if you guys can guess which room that is. Freaking through the walkthrough, we're going through, we get to a certain room, and Dave's like, is this the room? She's like, yep. Just didn't miss a beat. Like, knew exactly which one.
Knew exactly which one it was. That room gave a feeling. It did give a feeling off.
Yes,
but
it had a feeling, but I probably spent most of the time in there, and I didn't get anything except what?
Go ahead.
Okay, so when we were doing, I don't want to jump the gun too far, but I just want to say what I had happen. When we were doing the experiment at the end of the night, where we were standing in the doorway, or sitting in the doorway, a weird sensation came over my left leg, and it was like a weird numbing sensation, but it wasn't numb. It was just like like I felt like on the left side of my foot / left side of my leg, like energy start from the like my ankle and kind of come up to about the half of my shin, and it stopped. So much so that I was honestly falling asleep and it woke me up.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was trying to do.
That was interesting. Hey. Huh?
So maybe that's what it was trying to do, is be like, hey.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It felt like whatever it was like right next to me on my left.
We're just being all pervy.
Like. Well, I don't know. I can't remember. Was it White?
Mr.
Walter James
White?
Or James Walter? Mr. White? I think that's
Mr. White.
What his name was.
Yes.
That was the person that had died in that room.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. It was a weird sensation. But other than that, I would say the only other thing that I had. Well, actually, no. There was two things. Katie and we were running a RIM. Well, she was running a RIM pod in one of the rooms. It's like a bathroom kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tied off from another room. And I was out in the hallway, and I could hear the RIM pod going off. She's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! We're getting some stuff." And I go into the room. She wasn't even near the RIM pod when it was going off. And so we were in there asking questions, and it was going off pretty regularly. And then it just stopped all of a sudden. I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. We both were in the same spot we were in.
Mm-hmm.
And she made, he said, wake up and open a can of corn. Exactly. She made the comment, she's like, oh, I'm so glad this RIM pod doesn't have the red light, because I think that red lights can scare away some of the spirits. So I noticed she had the laser grid on facing towards that room, and one of the grids obviously was in the room. And I told her, I was like, well, you have the laser grid on, maybe the red light from the laser grid is like scaring it away. And then the red pod just goes beep 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 beep. She's like, well, that's interesting. After like doing nothing for a little bit, it did it right after I said that, and her and I both look at each other and go, oh my god, like just kind of one of those like like super excited moments. And I was like, well, maybe red lights they don't like for some reason, or it's something. So
yeah,
that was interesting. And then I remember walking down the hallway, and I just passed one of the rooms, and I thought I heard like a kind of sound, and it wasn't necessarily a cough, and it wasn't like a clearing of the throat. It was just like a weird audible voice sound, but it wasn't a voice. It was like a involuntary reaction kind of thing.
See, it's funny you say that, because I could have sworn at some point I heard something like that, but it just sounded like it was distant a little.
Yeah.
Like was it coming from another room or something? But like
it was when I was in the hallway going towards base camp, so it was on the left-hand side.
Okay. Yeah, because I was leaving that base camp area, and it was off to the right for me.
See? So maybe we both had something happen that was paranormal. Maybe. Who knows?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. But I think other than that, I didn't really have anything else happen, I want to say.
And we started the experiments off for that place down in the basement.
Yes.
Running the sensory overload. And I know Cassie had some experiences with it.
Yes.
I think everybody there's one particular experience I'm pretty confident that everybody had while doing the sensory overload down in the basement, and it seemed like they all were hearing movement to the back and right of them.
Yep. So I don't know how they were laid out. So what is the back and right? So I know the points of the old staircase and the new staircase.
Okay, so they were facing the old staircase. They were in the second room of the downstairs.
Okay.
Facing the old staircase and the where they bricked up the tunnel entrances. Okay, so they were facing that. Okay, so and they were sitting about in the middle of the room.
So back right would have been the entryway, or the walkway.
That entryway of that
both rooms.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Now I know 3 of them. I think 3 or 4 of them seen a figure.
Yes.
Over by the tunnel areas.
I think Cassie's was the most detailed. I think. Was it Cassie's? Where
I think so.
The black gentleman and was far away, and then like
overalls
right
or something,
there, and then like backed off or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that was Cassie's.
Yeah. I know Jerry seen like he saw what he was describing more of like a I don't know if it was translucent for him. He can clarify on here. He saw like this like bodiless soul over in the same corner that Cassie had seen this African American gentleman.
And I know we cut it on recording of Katie doing a little recap, but she also caught a black mass down there too, or she saw it, but she saw a black mass.
She saw a black mass.
Now where I'm not quite sure, but I know
hers was over by the stairs, those old stairs that go up.
Okay, yeah. Which was right next to one of the entryways in the tunnels.
Indeed.
So that's okay. So something else that's kind of cool that I want to talk about. The owner's daughter did metal detecting down there and found like an old, like I think 1902, 1904
1902
dime. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Imagine what's underneath that ground, just like ready to be dug up and like
what's in those tunnels.
Yes, dude. Oh my gosh. Like I'm sure there's businesses there where they haven't been all boarded up. I know that one place like says they do tunnel tours, but it's
they have like an entrance and that's it.
Tunnel tours.
Yeah,
it's just the opening. You can see down there. Anyways, yeah, bones too. That could be absolutely. You never know.
Cassie said it still baffles her with
her experience.
Figure. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I didn't want to spend any time down in the basement because I am sensitive to things, and I forgot my respirator because actually, I didn't forget my respirator. I just didn't bring it because I didn't think
you would need it down there.
Like I didn't know what to expect, so I should have brought it, but I didn't. So that's on me.
Yeah, because I was
spent my time. Huh?
I was gonna ask you if you wanted to go down there, but then I was like, I bet it's gonna mess with his.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do it. But I will say, when we go back, I do want to investigate more on the first floor of the actual bakery because I didn't get to investigate there at all.
I don't think any of us really did.
I don't think so either.
We just kind of, whenever we were running those experiments in the basement, we just kind of sat there and shot the shit.
Which, I mean, that was nice too. But it was great that they couldn't hear us downstairs or upstairs, really. But
like not KD, but Katie. Yeah. She about shit her pants down in the basement doing that experiment. Like she was freaking out. It was like, it was interesting to see that.
Most definitely.
She said she was talking scripture to it. Yeah.
Okay, I totally missed that part from when we were talking about it later. So that's wild. Didn't know about that.
Yeah. But like, there's a couple moments where like she audibly came through the monitor and stuff. Like it sounded like she was about to crap her pants. Like it was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
I love to hear people freak out over it.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, like you've talked about before, these experiments play on your fear. They
take away the safety net. They allow you to open up and experience some things that may be there, or you just might be making them up.
It makes you put your energy out there, and it can have some very interesting results. But I will say that's the experiment at the end of the night, it just didn't seem like it really. I think a lot of people were just tired and kind of ready to go, and the energy wasn't really flowing. Street noise. There was a party just down the way. She screamed, "Oh hell no!" Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Say, oh, hell no. Now, whenever I say, I want to clarify something. Whenever I say like, people are either having these experiences or they're making them up. When I say that, I don't mean like they're purposely making it up. It's just something that, because so much is being introduced to your ears, your sight, your mind is just trying to scramble and come up with something.
Yeah, they're being overloaded by sound, vision, and I would say feeling, because you have the energy generator in there too. So
yeah,
that's
so much going on. So that's what I say whenever like they're either creating this experience by making something familiar out of all this mess. Mm-hmm. So
we can't forget to mention too, I wasn't expecting this because she kept saying that she wasn't going to go, but we had a guest go to our Ray County event, and then she had to bribe her son to be able to go to the Thomas Building event. So it was really great seeing Jessica. I'm really glad that she came up to both events, and hopefully her and I will connect to maybe do some stuff here in Kansas City. She had a couple locations that she said if she gets any line on them, she'd let me know. So it was great having her there. I'm really glad she got to go and experience both experiments.
Oh, absolutely.
Screaming my brain and eyes. I mean, that's kind of what it's supposed to do.
Did its job. Now,
it is.
So where we go in the future with this? I mean, immediately we're going to Carpenter's Mortuary, and
yes,
if you haven't seen the Haunting History episodes of Carpenter Mortuary, I suggest going back.
I'm kidding.
What a dick.
A horrible person.
Just go back and check those out. See what kind of activity happened there. There's 2 episodes, so a lot to go through.
Definitely.
But also a lot of history to go through as well. We had some really cool guests with us there. And but that's where we're going next. I've got different things planned for this one.
Yeah.
I think it's really gonna
awesome, man. It's gonna
make some
great
shat their pants.
Good. How many we don't have to talk about that right now. But,
this one's nearly sold out.
This one's nearly sold out. Wow.
Yes. That's awesome. And like I was saying at the beginning, like it's kind of cool to see the progression of the events unfolding. Yeah. So like how it starts off with like, Malvern, we just had Jerry, and then we had a few at Ray County, and then we had a bunch at Thomas Building, and now we're gonna have like flipping everybody at this next one. So like the projection of it is going up, and I'm really appreciating it.
Oh, same.
And it's making me want to do more. So, after this, I'm gonna take everything in consideration. I don't like to investigate during winter, so I'm going to be holding off from that. Yeah. From doing anything then. But I might plan
cold places in the winter.
Fair enough. Or driving in snow and ice.
Driving, yeah, that's so true.
But I could still plan during winter, and I'll have to just kind of go back over all this, see how it went. I didn't mean to do that. Oh no. Just see how everything went, and where I could take it to the next level. I already have one experiment in mind that I am talking to KD about building something that it's been done before, not for ghost hunting, but it was actually at one time funded by the Soviets. So there's something to this. And not only am I planning for this to be tied in for ghost hunting, this particular experiment might also draw in UFO activity. I'm
just saying you might want to be careful, or else the government might come knocking on your door. You make an experiment with technology. Yeah. Just trying to, get some results, which would be interesting. But Jerry asked, how many tickets were there for Gentry?
We've got 11 sold.
11. Wow. God. Yeah. That's crazy.
So there's only a few spots left on that one.
Personally, I did not. I didn't think we'd get that many sold for Gentry.
Gentry's a very small town.
Yeah, for Carpenter's Mortuary.
Yeah.
So I am so happy with that, and that's great. That's
awesome. And what's really cool, like things are just progressing, right? Like this whole, last 2 weeks has really just been an uphill climb, and not only like just for this, but like I'm getting more people messaging me about this event, like the whole mystery tour. Not about the event, but about mystery tour, and asking already if I'm planning on doing stuff in 2024. Like people that haven't even gone to any of these events.
Yeah.
Now, like these are people asking if I'm going to have more coming up in 2024, or I'm like, I don't know, maybe.
We hope so. I hope so.
We hope so. What's the date on Carpenters? It is this Friday.
The 10th.
The 10th.
But Angel did say you're going to mess around and get butt probed.
Well, Josh, I'll have to get him involved in that little probing.
Absolutely.
At least I'll have a butt buddy.
Just going to leave it at that. I'm not even going to touch that one. You can have all that for yourself.
Your fingers will smell.
I hate you so much.
You do not.
I don't. Think about that. No, I'm not gonna do that. Loser.
Think about D's.
Just play it.
These nuts. Got him.
You're welcome. I haven't played that in a while. Sorry, I had to. But not only that. Okay,
Get all
so
the sound bites tonight.
we're gonna try it. We're gonna shoot for the moon.
No, I don't think we can do the Tenacious D one. I'm just saying. I don't think we should play that one just in case. If we do too many certain word.
No, we should be fine. We haven't really done that bad this whole hour. I mean, we kept it pretty PG, I thought.
Yeah, that's true.
There were no boobies.
Mitch, erase your comment. Delete your comment right now.
What did he say?
I didn't do anything.
With the spirits of Malvern follow.
Don't say it, you freaking.
What? Where we get butt probed?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they tend to like Josh for some reason. I know with the spook light and stuff.
I am going to have to get Josh on one of these investigations because his reactions are priceless.
Oh, Josh, I love his reactions, dude. Same with Justin and Katie.
He needs to get
he
needs to get out of Malvern. He needs to get out of Malvern. Josh does. So
Josh, if you see this, you need to get out of Malvern.
I'm thinking that's maybe why he stays in Malvern. He doesn't come anywhere. Is because
comfort thing.
I think so. Honestly, think so.
At Malvern. He knows the Malvern or the ghosts aren't going to probe him.
Right. I don't know, man. You've seen some of his videos. I think they're ready to hand it to him.
Hand him something, that's for sure.
Boobs and alien booty stuff.
Man.
Crystal Mine was epic for Josh reactions. Absolutely, it was a soundbite heaven. But so like what was really cool, like I was saying, like this whole 2-week period has just been trial and error, obviously, but like it's been more like this upward projection on everything for me right now. So I'm greatly appreciative of that, not just for the people that are, showing up for these events and everything, and the people that are supporting the events or wanting to come on future ones, but like even Haunting History. So Haunting History is on a streaming platform right now, which you can get. It's called Ghost Investigations TV, I think is what it's called. You can get that on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, Google Play. There's a bunch of other ones, and Haunting History is on this, and it's done really well. I just got my first quarterly. It's done really well. I'm surprised at how well it's actually done. So that's given me a big boost in my, not confidence, but like in my willingness to take action to do certain things that I'm planning to possibly do in the future, possibly next year. So yeah, it's just been an uphill climb, and it's just I'm riding this high right now. This weekend
to have that motivation back, isn't it?
The motivation, we
kind of touched on it a little bit.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Josh and butt stuff?
Yes. We kind of we mentioned it on the car ride back, I thought, from Malvern, that like it's nice to feel like what you're doing is important in the field, right? Mm-hmm. In things, and sometimes with all the stuff that you've gone through, sometimes it's easy to get discouraged and just want to kind of stop and to not do it anymore. But I really do feel like your niche is with filming and the paranormal of some sort. So to me, this just validates that you need to be doing this. That you need to be a part of this. Not I'm gonna go take a break and be done for a while. No, you clearly can't handle that, and it ropes you right back in every single time.
I think that happens with a lot of investigators, though.
No, it does. It absolutely does. But that to because I've walked away like multiple times too. But again, ropes you right back in.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can't just stay away. And it's just nice to feel that enthusiasm. Absolutely, Jerry. That's good. Very good way to put it. So,
yeah. Well, and I said it last night on the phone to you. I said it today in text. Like it's hit me so much, like the support and everything. Like it's gotten to me so much where I'm like, man, could I schedule enough of these throughout a year and quit my job and just start doing these events and some of these other projects that I have in mind associated with these events, because I've talked about doing a show, another new show.
Yeah.
And even with this like whole show idea I have, I am not going to do any like crowdfunding or anything to help raise funds for it. If I would get any funds, it would be from doing these events, and that would fund a TV show, and that would be amazing to be able to do that full time, not have to do my, 12-hour days and shit.
I was gonna say it doesn't help when certain online algorithms from certain companies keep you from being able to promote things.
Exactly.
So having to make new pages and new things,
starting over.
It's a nice fresh start.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see where things go, especially for next year. Like I can't wait. It's gonna be a very interesting year on multiple things. I have a feeling. So,
and I was talking to Angel earlier tonight, and I can't remember. We actually talked this morning and tonight too, but like I can't remember when she said it. She said something like she's now noticing a lot of the paranormal starting to come back.
Yes.
And I think maybe that's going to be a good thing. Shoot. And I did predict this at the beginning of the year, by the way.
Yeah, you did. So. One of your predictions. Well, I was going to say too, and as far as like little personal growth for myself, I'm starting to notice and hear things more on investigations. So that to me,
progression.
That is progression, and it kind of helps with my enthusiasm. Like I love the field already. Don't get me wrong. But it's nice, like, because there for a while there, it's a lot of you would hear things, I wouldn't hear things most of the time, and now being able to hear things simultaneously with you has been so nice. It's been so nice.
That was something. Like, was it at Thomas Building we brought it up or something?
Yeah, something like that. But I would say Angel's got a good point. I got to figure out how to stir up activity, or at least bring in my energy to stir up activity. I just don't know where to start, so it's got to start at square one, I guess.
I think you'll have to figure that out on your own. I don't think
I will. I definitely
anybody's really going to be able to tell you.
No, I wasn't relying on that. It was more of like realizing it, speaking about it, and bringing it to fruition kind of a thing, like acknowledging that. And because the first step is acknowledgement. So
indeed,
who knows what the future has for us, but I'm very excited.
And the more you do it, the more you grow.
Yeah, so true. Angel, it's all there. You just have to move it around. It's so true. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. But
so I'm excited where we're going.
Me too, man.
And it doesn't mean we're going to stop doing Boogeyman. We're still going to continue this.
Absolutely.
You guys still join us on these journeys. You guys, we're going to take you along a lot of good things. So,
oh, thanks, Cassie. That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said about me. I mean that. That's really nice. That is really nice. Thank you. I try to be level-headed, patient, and laid back.
And Cassie is one of our biggest supporters, so we definitely appreciate Cassie.
Been there, like Cassie and a handful of others have been there from the beginning through and through. I would say, like here nightly.
Yeah.
Like, well, not nightly, but like every week.
Yeah, weekly.
Every time, and love you. Thank you so much. You all know who you are.
And she's doing some really cool things with
Yes,
Prison
she
Town
is.
and
Yes.
over there in Leavenworth. And I'm actually pretty excited with what she's got going on and what she's building over there. So kudos to you, Cassie, and I can't wait to see what you do in the future as well.
Oh, thanks, Mitch. Appreciate that too.
Yes.
And thanks, Jerry. That means a lot. And thanks.
Very patient with the new person.
Yeah. But he's not that new at it though. Like, I mean,
Now go in the hole.
He's right. You go shit by yourself.
Go sit down in the dark basement.
That's right. That's exactly right. Exactly.
Yes, he asked twice.
Twice. Yes. Oh man. Thank you, everybody.
Right.
Means a lot. I think we're gonna jump off here though.
Yes.
I didn't think we were gonna last this long.
I didn't either.
This is great.
Never thought you'd say
you guys
that.
are amazing. Thank you. Well,
Anyway.
Again, not a children's show.
No. And I think I'm gonna end it on this because you brought it up. Okay.
Oh, no. That was almost 3.
I know.
If you said it earlier. That's 4. No, I'm kidding. Have a good night, Cassie. Have a good night, Angel. Thank you guys so much
Good night,
for being
everybody.
here. We'll see y'all next week. Thank you.
Absolutely. And catch one of the old episodes coming out this week. I'm actually gonna upload them. I'm gonna take the time to upload them.
Real quick, plug your TikTok too. That way, if you go live at Carpenter's, they can go follow us now and watch.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys can just find me as David_Glidden on TikTok.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe we'll see some of you at Carpenter's. There's only a few tickets left. Better get them quick.
Yeah. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Good night. Take care.